everybody's able to hear me. So today we'll talk about macOS integration specific with mobile iron. I would like to review first of all the customer pain points that you might be facing. Then we will handle the macOS security and management with mobile iron and how to integrate the macOS devices greatly. And we could also have a look at the on-premise and cloud differences. Just talk briefly about it at the end of the session. So first of all, I would like to ask one question and show one comic. I'm a Mac and I'm a PC, and since you do everything through a browser now, we're pretty indistinguishable. Is that true? Is this enough for macOS management? So in a way, yes, because you just browse one website, you access application with a web browser, and if you're using the same Firefox or Chrome browser, you will get the same features. I think it's not really enough because we don't have the same management tools for Mac and for PCs. So PCs are managed, they are owned by the company, and we distribute security policies and are able to distribute applications, for example. And quite often, when we encounter Macs in the enterprise world, they are not managed. So the two main pain points of customers is that the Macs are not secure. There is no security control in place on macOS, and the devices are not managed as of today. We also see the trend in the enterprise world about the BYOD, and I think all of you already know the challenge. If you want to allow a particular user to bring his own device and use it for corporate access, then you might want to define some security guidelines, some security policies, so that at least the business data and the business applications are secured. So I think BYOD is even more trendy with MacBooks, even more than PC desktops. Yeah. So in a way, we have a risk of non-compliance. If you don't secure and don't manage the Mac, basically the information will not satisfy the security policies that are in place in the company. We could have a data loss risk. So if there is no backup in place, if the data is just copied to some other place and it's not secured, there is the cloud risk before all, because most Mac users will just install Dropbox or OneDrive and will be able to synchronize business data in the cloud. And also, quite often, we see that if the Mac is not secured and managed, this will lead to a greater operating expense. So in the end, it's just costing more money, and it's not very secure. So the biggest question for today is, okay, what if we could use an EMM approach to manage the macOS efficiently? Let me just explain what I mean by EMM approach. It's for those of you who already manage Windows, Android, and iOS devices, I think you already know the building blocks of that approach. For macOS, we could have the same, so we could think about the provisioning of the device. It's how you register the device in the system. The second block will be the configuration management, so how you will define and distribute configurations, policies on the mobile device or on the desktop device. Then the third one is the security and control. So what are the security mechanisms and security options that you have, and the reporting options maybe. The fourth item is the application deployment. So quite often you manage the device and you manage the security and it's not enough. You would like to roll out and distribute business applications or maybe bookmarks on the device. And finally, the monitoring and compliance, as well as the end of life, is important. When you retire the device, you would like that all the business data is just removed from the device and that the access to corporate email is blocked, for example. So, to make it short, yes, we can. With Mobile Iron, since 2017, we have many possibilities to manage macOS devices, much more than in the past. And we've got security controls. And the goal of today is just to introduce you to the configurations that exist and what can be done with mobile app. So it used to be the case since the beginning for the provisioning, for example, that you could register the Mac over Safari. So you open the Safari browser, or you could just get an invitation email, and you open the mobile iron address, mycore.mydomain. It could be mdm.mycompany.com/go, and then the user is able to enter his credentials, click on the register button, and what will happen is exactly the same as the process that is in place for iOS, is that one MDM profile will be installed, and thanks to that MDM profile, we will be able to manage configurations and many things on the Mac. So the user has to accept the profile installation. All of you who already registered one iOS device know it. Maybe you did it one time, maybe multiple times, but you installed the MDM profile, and then thanks to the MDM certificate, we are able to manage the device with the EMM server. So we have to accept, of course, and log in so that the profile is installed. And finally, all the configurations and profiles will be installed and managed by Mobile Iron. So it used to be the case already 4 years ago that you could register one Mac on Mobile Iron, but you couldn't do much. You could maybe just distribute one email, Wi-Fi, and VPN configurations, see the device details, and yeah, that's it. So it was not as extended as we wanted. And thanks to new APIs from Apple and also the extension of Mobile Iron last year, we are able to do much more today. And yeah, let's just go on and we will go through all the features that are available. By the way, the registration can work with SAML as well. We could automate the account creation. So like, for example, create an admin account or user account. And first and foremost, I think that we have the support for Apple DEP, which is the Apple Device Enrollment Program. It is an important part for iOS management. It's just simplifying the first enrollment of iOS devices in the MDM so that you could basically unpack the iOS device after you just buy it from a certified reseller. The user is launching the device for the first time. He has to enter his user ID or one PIN number just to authenticate, and then all the configurations will just be rolled out automatically and arrive on the iOS device. So Apple DEP is not only for iOS, it's also for macOS, and that's the good news. So as of today, Mobile Iron is supporting Apple DEP for macOS as well. So that's about provisioning. So we see it's not that complicated. We log in, we authenticate, and then maybe the most complicated step is to install the MDM profile and accept the installation, and everything else is automated. What about the control? As soon as the device is registered, you would like maybe to see the device details. So you'd like to see how much disk space is available, what are the configurations which are applied, when did the device check in for the last time, that kind of things. You would like also maybe to force the check-in from the MDM server to lock or unlock the device. You could retire it, wipe it as well. So you see that the basic commands that you find for iOS or Android management or Windows are also applicable for macOS. So just to keep, I will not explain all of them. I think you know most of you already know that kind of actions. What about configurations? There is a huge list of configurations which are available. I will just go briefly over them. The first one that you could enable on macOS is user or device restrictions. I will show a screenshot later. Just as an example, you could just decide to disable iCloud on macOS. You could also block the use of the camera if you want to. So these are kind of lockdown policies that will enable or disable features on the device. The same applies for the App Store. There are so-called App Store restrictions that you can define for macOS only. Just give an example, you could enable the app installation only through the administrator, or only for managed applications that you whitelist in the EMM, and forbid all other app installations. You could enable and disable the optical drive. That could be useful if you don't want the user to burn business data on a CD. So even though it's even more complicated nowadays to find one CD and to burn things on, you could distribute CalDAV and CartDAV settings. So CalDAV is for the calendar, it's a calendar connector, and CartDAV is for the contact. So that's also applicable for iOS, by the way. You could distribute one configuration to integrate the Mac in the AD domain, or do LDAP integration. You are able to distribute certificates, like you do for on iOS. So it could be one root certification authority, or it could be also one identity certificate that will authentify that the user will use for the authentication. You are able to distribute one exchange setting. I will get back to that point just in the next slide, because it's not as straightforward as we might think. And also, if you're not happy with the set of configurations that you find in MobileIron, there is always the possibility to define your own XML and plist configuration file and distribute it with MobileIron. So you just have to stick to the Apple reference, create your own configuration, and distribute it on the Mac. And the last part is web clips that can be defined. So a web clip is just a favorite, it's just a bookmark that will create a link to one website or to one application if you use some specific application URL schemes, and you are able to distribute bookmarks with icons on macOS. So, a few words about email sync. I think everybody is dreaming of distributing one Exchange configuration on macOS. That would be nice. And since last year, and even before, I think, you are able to distribute one Exchange config from MobileIron on macOS. What does it mean, really? Unfortunately, it's not the active sync, like, on iOS. macOS, the native email client, does not support active sync. So we cannot use the Sentry proxy to tunnel the traffic for email. And we have to find another way. So what is that configuration made for? The answer is quite simple. It's the support for Exchange configuration over EWS, so Exchange Web Services. So which means that we are able to send one Exchange configuration on macOS, prepare it with MobileIron, and then the mail client from the macOS device will try to connect over Exchange with the EWS connector. For that, unfortunately, as of today, we need either one global VPN, which is rolled out on the macOS, or we need to be inside the corporate network so that you can reach the Exchange backend. But as soon as you have connectivity, then all the user information, even the certificate if you want, the user ID, the mail, can be provisioned with MobileIron. And this will synchronize emails, contacts, calendar, and the basic team data. So that's about configurations and email. I would like to spend the next 5-7 minutes on the security controls, because there are many things we can do to secure the macOS device. Let's start with the most important one. You are able to define a security policy like you do on iOS and Android. So you can define the password complexity, some compliance actions. For example, you would like to quarantine the device if the device does not fulfill the security policies you defined. You could block the email access as well. Maybe not for Mac because you go through Exchange, but you could find a way to remove the Exchange configuration if the device is quarantined. So there are multiple ways to have control on the security of the device. You are able to enable and enforce the disk encryption policy. This is called the 5-volt policy on macOS. After that, with Mobile Iron, you are able to monitor the encryption status. App blacklist and whitelist is a possibility. So you could just define a list of applications that are allowed to be installed, or a list of applications which are blacklisted. And in that case, you would like to take one compliance action, for example, block the device. And also the restrictions. So let's have a quick look at some screenshots, because here we just have some bullet points. Maybe it's not really concrete. So right there on the top, on the bottom right of the slide, you see that somebody once tries to open one downloaded applications. It's not been whitelisted, or it's in the blacklist, or maybe it's because of the app restrictions, and the user is not allowed to open one application which has not been authorized. The security policy from Mobile Iron, I think most of you will know it. You can define the password complexity guidelines, the minimal password length. That kind of options are also available for macOS. And then for the compliance actions, we have 3 different things we can check. First of all, the macOS version, making sure that you don't have an outdated system which could, for example, leak the root password, or on which the root password can be just entered. So sorry, I just wanted to say that we could log in with the root user without any password, as you might have read in the news in the past few months. So we could enforce that at least with the appropriate version of macOS. Also, we could block the device if the disk is not encrypted, and also if the MDM profile is not activated. There are plenty of restrictions which are available. You could apply them on a user basis or device basis. So it could be the use of the camera, it could be the use of iCloud photo library, or anything that you find here is applicable to macOS. And also sometimes some restrictions are applicable for both iOS and macOS. So depending on the settings you find in the admin portal of Mobile Iron, you will find more granular settings for macOS or not. So for the restrictions, we have 2 categories, the macOS restriction settings, and then also the App Store specific restriction settings. Here also a quick example and a screenshot of the 5-volt policy, which is responsible for the disk encryption, and you can manage recovery keys, decide where they are going to be stored if you want to recover the disk once it has been encrypted. So it's similar to the BitLocker recovery key that you would find on Windows. So far, so good. Some more security controls we have. We have the generic terms of system policy control and system policy rule on macOS. And basically, with this kind of control, you are able to approve applications from the Mac App Store and allow programs to run from approved developers. So you can also set no restrictions and just allow everything to run with. Just choose the wildcard. Some of you might know the SP control, like security policy control command from macOS. So we can also play with that with Mobile Iron and define rules that will allow the installation, execution, or the operations on files for some applications. Just give an example later. And also the third one is the system policy managed. Thanks to that one, we are able to disable the open with command from the Finder contextual menu. So what about the system policy rule? So here's a quick screenshot of that configuration. It looks pretty simple. So you have to fill in all the information, and for that you need a little bit of macOS administration knowledge. Mobile Iron knowledge is not enough. And as you see, there is that the rules can be defined with the code signing requirement language. There is a nice guideline and reference online. Just give you the link in this slide. And thanks to that language, you should be able to define some restrictions for the applications and say, okay, this application is able to execute, is allowed to be executed, or can be installed, and so on and so forth. Quick example of the code signing requirement language. You could use a bundle ID, like com.apple.mail, which is the mail client of macOS. You could also use your own certificate information of the applications that you have developed for macOS, or you could also use one application hash. And then you can combine all the information with logical and comparison operators so that you can define your own security rules that must be applied on the macOS device. Okay, so far so good for security. The next topic is about application deployment. So the good news is that the Mobile Iron App Store can be used with Apple VPP, the Volume Purchase Program, to distribute public applications on macOS device. It's the same principle exactly as Apple VPP for iOS. So we are able to buy free or paid apps in the iTunes Store and distribute them with Mobile Iron. Then the user will access the App Store with Safari, exactly as on an iOS device. It's called Apps at Work. And the user will find the Apps at Work shortcut in the dock on Mac. The application can be installed silently, so there is no user interaction required. You don't need any Apple ID to install the app. And also after the MDM sync, you should be able to see the app inventory, see what applications have been installed on Mac. And of course, the security controls, the blacklist and the whitelist, as I told earlier. So just give an example. Here I use the Apple Configurator because I'm using that application quite often to prepare iOS devices, and I wanted my Apple Configurator to be installed automatically. So you see on the left, you've got the macOS. It's just the application which is made for macOS. It will be installed with VPP. So we are able to use the Mobile Iron standard label assignment, straightforward. All of you know it for Android, for iOS. It's the same for macOS. The synchronization with VPP is automatic. It can be done for paid or for free applications. Application is installed silently on the device, and you can also define app categories like you would do for iOS and Android. So if I sum up, we are able to manage the device. We have some security controls. We could roll out applications. That's already a good starting point. The next topic I would like to briefly present is the connectivity topic, because that's the missing part of the puzzle. As soon as you have all the remaining parts, what is important is to connect to Wi-Fi, to connect to VPN, or to connect to your in-house or corporate hosted application. So since the beginning of macOS management with Mobile Iron, we were able to distribute Wi-Fi profiles, VPN profiles. Even complex Wi-Fi settings can be distributed on macOS. That's working well. And since a few months, there is a new utility which is called Mobile Iron Tunnel. Mobile Iron Tunnel is the per-app VPN solution which had been developed for iOS, and it allows you to have like a VPN connectivity for a dedicated application inside the corporate network. So if you install any application from the iTunes Store, you just take Chrome or one SAP app or whatever application, you equip the application with a per-app VPN profile, the so-called Mobile Iron Tunnel VPN configuration, then you should be able to access the internal resource. It could be one website, it could be one application server which resides in the corporate network. And the Mobile Iron Sentry, the proxy, is used to tunnel the traffic inside the corporate network. And you take the advantage of security controls of Sentry, checking the device compliance, checking that the device and the user are authorized to use the app, and so on and so forth. So the great news for macOS is that Mobile Iron developed one version of Tunnel for macOS. For the time being, it's only working with Safari, so we cannot use any application from the iTunes Store. I hope it's going to come, I don't know. But at least I could test the Safari and Opera VPN and access my corporate resources, and it was working very well. And of course, then we also have SSO possibilities. What about a quick comparison between the cloud and on-premise? So back in time, I remember that Mobile Iron Cloud offered many, many features for macOS, and we always had to wait a few months or maybe a few years, I don't know, so that the features could come on Mobile Iron on-premise as well. So they were implemented in the cloud first, and then on-premise. And last year, Mobile Iron made big efforts to align the features. So we almost have the same features nowadays for Mobile Iron Cloud or Mobile Iron on-premise. And that's some very good news. If you want to have a detailed look, you could click on that link. It's the Cloud Support Matrix, and you see what is currently supported for macOS management on Mobile Iron Cloud. And there is also a very nice reference for the cloud configuration for macOS with videos and examples. It's very well documented. For the on-premise possibilities, you might have to take some more time to find the documentation because it's hidden in the iOS management guide. So basically, just check the documentation for iOS, and you will always find a chapter about macOS. So I'm almost done. There's one more slide remaining. The advantages of Mobile Iron is that you can centrally manage all platforms, so not only mobile, like iOS, Android, Windows Phone, but you can also manage Windows desktops and macOS with the same unified interface. Macs can be managed at scale. You get advanced security controls as well as with some. The operations are quite simple. You are used to it, so why not using them as well for macOS? You have a better user experience. The registration is not taking a lot of time. With Apple DEP and VPP, you're able to streamline the rollout of applications and the setup of the device. And finally, we can expect a lower total cost of ownership than unmanaged and unsecured Macs. So I'm right on time. So thank you for being here today, and I invite you as well to join our next webinar. On 8th March, I think one colleague of mine will talk about SAML integration for mobile device. And also we will have a nice presentation from our partner Google for Android Enterprise, just briefing you about what are the new things and new trends for Android Enterprise at the end of March 2018. So thank you for your attention, and I wish you a very nice end of week.